So I'm Julia Ann. This session is self-care for writers, and we're going to be looking at the mind, body, soul. And then immediately after that we're going to be sharing your stories. So this session is sponsored by Look After Me, which is an accommodation network. So who am I and why am I qualified to share this information with you? So I'm an award-winning scientist. I was trained as a molecular biologist and have been a science communicator and a project leader. I also have experience in writing and I'm a performance poet. My genre is creative non-fiction, business and travel. I'm also the founder and managing director of Look After Me Events and Accommodation, and we're proud to bring you the great write-in, and I'm also the festival director. So what I'd like to do is just say a warm welcome to you all here today, and especially to you at home watching on the live stream. So we're streaming this live from the beautiful Lantern Room in Petri Dish, and this comes with love from Dunedin. And it is our hope that as we share stories, we will connect with other cities of literature. So welcome Edinburgh, welcome Quebec, and welcome to all the viewers at home. So this session is all about self-care. So it's mind, body, soul. But what does that really mean? Let's start with a few definitions. I see ourselves as writers as a holistic being. And so when we think about the mind, we're thinking about the brain and the thinking capacity that we all have. When we're thinking about the body, we're thinking about all the flesh and the blood, and I think we all really know what a body is. But then when we talk about the soul, it gets a little bit murky, and so this is where we're going to actually, how can we connect all of us to find our true, authentic voice as writers? And I started this journey about 30 years ago, really looking for how was I going to express myself as a writer? How could I find my North Star? How could I understand what it is that my purpose as a writer is? And so I sort of went on this quest, sort of looking for this North Star, and I actually distilled it down to this very simple statement, and that is my work and my words to be of benefit for others. And so I was trucking along very nicely. I had the Look After Me accommodation network, which was really, benefiting the accommodation and tourism industry, working on my book, Secret Diary of an Entrepreneur, and then we had COVID. And for me, all of a sudden, as we all are in the same situation, we're having a good look in the mirror, and for many of us, we're sort of now racing towards, like, it feels like things are sped up, because we are in an uncertain world, and for me, I just felt like part of who and what I needed to be with my work and words of benefit to others. I really wanted to run this session to share some of the knowledge. So it's really about you and what you are looking for and how you are going to be expressing your unique, authentic voice. Who are you as your best self? And in a few moments we're going to be doing some physical and mental exercises to help kind of answer those questions. And it's a very valid question, because we are all here for a purpose. And how do you as a writer connect with your authors, your voice, your story, your readers? So I want you to lean in. I want to be a bit of a coach. This is where the learning begins, and I really want us to get going. So are we all ready to go? Get going this morning. Give us a yeah. We good? We're all good? Great. Woo, good. All right. So what we're going to cover is sort of 30 years of trying to understand a whole myriad of aspects of life. And so I've drawn from my life experience, but also quantum physics and meditation and mind power and yoga and learnings from some of the best teachers in the world around mind practices and visualization. So it's distilling it's not just from one field, it's from a wide variety of teachers and programs and learnings, and I've invested about 30 years of learning and self-development to try and understand and answer some of these questions. I also want to acknowledge Jack DeLosa, who developed an elevated entrepreneurs program, and that was actually asking us as entrepreneurs to actually do the hard work at the level of the soul, because there's the mind, the body, but actually really honing in on who and what you are is really going to help whether you're in business or whether you're an author. And so let's get warmed up. It's Sunday morning here, so we're going to do a few things that are going to help support the body. And so as writers, I'm sure you're very aware that there are certain parts of the body that really are affected when we're writing so hard. We're going to start nice and easy, so you can stay sitting for this. When we're thinking about tools and techniques that help writers, they need to be quick, they need to be easy, they need to be free, they need to be accessible, they need to be rememberable. And so it sounds so simple, but it will, if practiced, will really help you connect with yourself and your writing. So it's actually a very simple technique. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called square breathing. And so I'll take you through that process in a moment. But as we navigate these very challenging times, we know that there is more anxiety and stress with the situation. So square breathing is a lovely technique because it does help improve sleep. It helps cleanse the lungs when you're really taking in big, strong oxygen. It is oxygenating your whole body. It lowers the blood pressure because as you exhale, it physiologically reduces anxiety. It reduces pain. It actually really stimulates your brain and actually lowers stress levels. So I do this probably about 8 or 9 times a day, and I certainly do it every single time I sit down to do a piece of writing. So the principle of square breathing, you're breathing in for a count, usually on the count of 4, so you're breathing in, and then you're holding 2, 3, 4, and then you're exhaling for 4, and then you're pausing before you intake again. So in a few moments we're going to try that, but we're going to keep it really easy. We're just going to do for the count of 3. So everybody, we're going to do some breathing. So I want you to sit up nice and straight, and sort of roll your shoulders, get your shoulders nice and square, nice and relaxed. And then I really want you to concentrate on your breathing. So we're going to just stage this. So we're going to breathe in for 3, we're going to hold for 3, we're going to exhale for 3, and then we'll hold for 3, and then we'll do it again. We're going to do 3 sets of that. So just in your own time, but start breathing in now for 3. Now you can open your mouth if you like, really, and as you're breathing in, now this time put your hand on your stomach, and what we're doing is as we're breathing in, we're actually really pushing out our stomach as hard as you think it'll go, and that's where, and you're really pushing that oxygen down in and feeling it really fill your stomach, and it should feel quite nice and soothing. So we're breathing in, and then out. And so as you're breathing out, really push. I want to see a bit more energy here. So I know it's Sunday morning. That's it, Gracie. That's it, Anne. So 3 more. One more. Okay. In your own time. So breathing in. Good. So now we're going to switch to 4. So I want you to, this time we're going to breathe in for 4. And we'll do that a couple of times as well. And so what's going to happen is that oxygen is really starting to move in now, and hopefully you're starting to feel more centered and grounded. I know we've all had busy mornings, so it really works, doesn't it?
It's so chill, right?
Yeah, no, it really works. So let's try it again. It's so simple, and you think, what is this? But when you really get that oxygen in your stomach, it hopefully will really just calm you down, keep you settled. So just going to have a few moments of quiet, and we're just going to breathe in our own time. We'll do this for a few moments. Good. And one more. Trying to get to 4. And now we're going to increase the length and duration, and this is going to be the, we're going to breathe, see if we can count to 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, and then hold for 5. So just do another couple of cycles for that. Some of that might be out of reach for some people, but let's just try that. When you really, when you put your hand on your stomach, really feel it. Thank you for participating in that. I know it's really simple, but I hope that if the one thing that you do from this session, so quick, so easy, and whenever you feel that little moment of frazzle or you feel something in your stomach, this exercise will just bring you right down, and actually you'll just calm down. So, and so now what we're going to do is the writer's stretch. So this is best done standing up. So in your own time, if you can stand up. And Gracie, you might want to just yep. Yeah, cool. So as writers, who gets sore neck and shoulders? Yeah, pretty much everyone. And so as we are looking at a self-care program, we really need to be thinking about our bodies and our touch points of where we're sore. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to start with a couple of shoulder rolls. Just keep it nice and simple. Roll your shoulders, back. 2 or 3, oh, that feels tight, doesn't it? And now we're going to go the other way, and we're going to go forward, whatever way. Yep. And then making sure you've got a bit of space. We're actually just going to just start swinging. How good does that feel? And so that twisting is really starting to get the oxygen all around. Great. And now what we're going to do is so if you're left-handed or right-handed, so this is, there are muscles in here when we're writing get quite stiff. So this, you may have one side, so we're actually just going to gently pull that back, and that will probably hurt. And so we're looking for a nice stretch, so if you can stretch it out a little bit more, Wayne, that's it, and yep, cool, nice stretch, lovely. And then give it a nice good shake. Oh yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? And so this is, and so I want you to really, we're focusing on your writing hand at the moment, and so we're just giving it, getting that blood going. And so this is a nice exercise you can do about once an hour if you're having a good writer's session. Get up and stand up and really just look after, give it a good rub, give it a good shake, that writing hand. And now we're going to switch to the other hand. So again, arm outstretched, and just giving that a really good stretch, pulling your fingers down, and actually that's it, and that will probably hurt, but it's very beneficial. And you can go back the other way, yep. And again, giving it a really good shake, give that other hand a really good shake, that's it. Get the blood flowing, and sort of give your fingers a good of a massage. Great. And so, and now we're going to work on the neck, and so a lot of the time we are with our head down, and so a reminder about your visual when you are writing, it's making sure you have got good posture is absolutely critical, and we can get a little bit slack, so really making sure that as we are really conscious about our body position as we're writing to help prevent those injuries. So with our neck, we're going to just head over to the left, And we're going to drop our shoulders right down. That's it. Good. And then the other side. And you might find that you're a bit stiffer on one side. We'll just try that again. And then there. And now this time we're going to actually, with our chin, we're actually going to head backwards. Now this one you might hear a few creaks. So we're keeping our head straight, and as best we can we're actually pushing, it's sort of like a gooseneck. It's but it's really good. And so looking straight ahead, you, so you actually, the actual movement is your head, moving. Yeah. So that's it. Good.
I hope no one's taking photos right now.
No. No, just live streaming a video.
Awesome.
Yeah. And now the other thing I do is I'm really quite tactile, and so you can use your and it's almost a self-discovery. So wherever there's tension, so it might be your eyebrows, and so just using your elbows or your fingers if you like, or not your elbows, your thumb. If you bend your thumbs in half, they're actually really quite solid. So giving your forehead a really good rub, and you can be quite vigorous. And so this process of rubbing your scalp and really activating, some people really like it, but for others it may make you feel a little bit odd. But just really rub around the back of your neck and give yourself a really good rub, because we are spending a lot of time hunched over the computer. So wherever it's a bit tight, and this is why it's good as a self-care exercise, because you can really feel where you need it. How's that feeling? So yeah, just spend a few minutes doing that, and wherever feels good for you. It could be your head, it could be the temples are another place where often we carry that stress. You might feel a little bit of tension, and actually even in these points under the chin, just giving, you don't even think you've got muscles there, but when we're tense, we clench our jaw, and so really releasing our jaw. Yeah, could really, there's a few grimaces in the room. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so have another good shake out, and we're just going to really, good. And so now we've warmed up our neck, and we've warmed up our, our shoulders. We're actually just going to do a bit of a side stretch, so arm up in the air, and if you look at that hand, and just sort of lean over, and then come back. And then same thing, looking up at your hand, and then keeping your shoulders back, and as best you can, just a nice lean sideways. So we're not trying to go forward, we're not trying to go back, we're just trying to stay straight, and that will really stretch. So there's a lot more we can do with this, but what we're going to do is just shake it out, and just have a little dance on the spot. That's it. Go, Suzanne. Have a dance. Show me a dance, and just really move. And so we've done the breathing, we've done the movement, and so about once an hour, in terms of really looking after your body, that is something that all writers need to do.
There's all people who are working at a computer, isn't it?
That's right, and when we're working at a computer, it's it's really important to keep that stretching. So yeah, great. So you're welcome to sit down, because and you may choose to grab a pen and paper, because we're actually going to move on and do a session with so a bit of self-analysis for ourselves as writers. So this, we talked about the mind, body, soul, done a little bit of body work, and now we're going to move on to some nurturing for the mind. And so this is a really safe place where you can, this is your journey as a writer, this is your self-discovery. So there's no right or wrong answers, it's whatever you think, and it's to help you find your voice. And the other thing, this exercise is actually a blocked sync. So this is actually to remind me to tell you what we're going to do in this next session is unblock anything that might be holding you back from being your best self or the best writer that you want to be. And so we're going to have a few moments of contemplation, and what we're going to ask is, what is the most destructive belief you have about yourself? Now, when I did this exercise with Jack Delosa, I just want to exemplify how this worked for me and for other people, and then we'll have a bit of quiet time so you can kind of get an idea of what it is we're trying to do. So I thought, what a strange question, and then as I started thinking, what is the most destructive belief? What is it that I'm saying to myself that is not helping me or serving me anymore? And I had a flash of inspiration, and it was actually about the fact that because I'm so short, I actually had this negative belief that I'm not big enough, or you're too small. And so that was for me like a moment where I went, oh my gosh, I've actually been carrying this around my whole life. So and for other people in our session, you know, other people, everyone has these destructive beliefs. So it could be doubt, it could be issues around money, you can't afford it, I'm not skilled enough, exhaustion is a badge of honour, I'm going to mess it up, your fear of being mocked by people who are already succeeding, I'm not smart enough, success is for other people. So, so we're going to have a couple of moments just to think about what is it that is your most destructive belief. So take a few moments. It might be one thing, it might be a couple of things. And so it looks like most people have written something down. And so for those of you who are ready, I want you to ask the question, how does this destructive or negative belief show up in your life? And how does it influence the way that you approach writing? What does it prevent you from doing? So it's really, you don't need to answer all those questions, but as you're thinking about what it is for you, think about what does that mean? And so to give you an example, so with me being short, I think I felt like I had to talk more, which sounds ridiculous, but I kind of wanted to fill up the space. And yesterday we heard about these, purple dots. I think I sometimes talk too much to kind of fill up the space, and somehow, the illusion it might make me, feel better. So, and I also equated my height with my personal wealth. So again, it's just using my example to help you, think about how is that negative belief turning up in your life. And the next question, I'll give you a few more minutes. Thank you for engaging in this exercise. Once we've broken through, you'll realise why it can really help you. And now I want you to think about when this negative belief started turning up. So we're all on a journey from, the cradle to the grave. I'm sure you've seen this picture, but for some of us, our negative beliefs started very young, and others it might have, been in our working life. So, think about when did that belief first show up for you? Was it prompted by an event or perhaps a string of events? Again, for me, because I was small, I was constantly taken to clinics and shown, put on scales, and the height thing was a major issue all through my childhood, and then as a young adult, entering the workforce and university and the workforce and seeing all these people towering above me. So whatever it is for you, when did that negative belief first show up? What has this belief cost you? And what are the consequences? Are there any consequences of you carrying this belief around with you? What has that meant? Has it had any effect on people around you? Has it effect on your writing? Maybe it's had an effect on your self-confidence, the way you see yourself, the way you value things or money. Perhaps it's mean that you're unhappy, or perhaps it means that you're, ashamed or embarrassed or hiding from, or protecting yourself from some sort of emotion. All of these answers are valid. And so now, in this next phase, I want you to take a few moments and really, I actually want you to stand up for this, and I want you to hold up your writing, and I want you to take a few minutes and look at it, and look at that work that you just did, where you're expressing, a negative belief, and because in a moment we're going to actually let it go. So all stand up when you're ready. Either hold your work or get ready to look down the work. And so pick it up or whatever's comfortable, and then just take a few moments and sort of taking from the top everything you've read. Gracie?
Sorry. Oh, my bad.
And so looking at your work, really holding that negative belief. And then on the count of 3, we're going to let it go. And actually this is a lot easier than it sounds. So this is why we did the breathing. What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. And as we're breathing in patience. And then as we're breathing out, we're letting it go. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe and we're going to let it go, all of that negativity, and we're just going to imagine that it's floating up and away. So in your own time. So really thinking about that negative belief, knowing that it does not serve you anymore. It is time to let it go, let it go, let it go. So, well done, it's gone. It's that quick and easy. So to let go of our limiting beliefs. So just a few moments breathing and reflecting on that. Nice deep breathing down to the stomach, good chance to practice. Really let that go. Great. And so we're just going to shake out since we're standing. Let that go. Hope you're feeling good because you're going to feel feeling much lighter. Some of you may have had some emotions coming up as, but to bringing things to the surface and letting them go is actually so simple, it's so powerful, and to have this experience, will really, taking those moments of self-awareness. So have a wee stretch, have a little dance, feel happy, because the next thing we're going to do is really embed some work in, that's right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start, you can sit back down if you like, we're going to actually we need to start replacing that negative belief with something else. And so now as we are moving into, so we've done sort of an exercise with our mind, now we're actually going to go to that next level, and this is what we call our soul work. So these are answers that we already know, we just need to tap into them. So again, as we, what we're going to be doing is imagine that this is a future looking exercise. So as we are looking towards our future, we are thinking, and I want you to think about a date. It's about 18 months in the future. It's the 17th of March, 2023. So the date is 17th of March 2023, and so I want you to start closing your eyes now. And what I want you to do is imagine that you are at home and you are sort of looking in the mirror, and you can see this person and you know that it's you, but when you start really thinking about yourself, you notice that there's something different about you, and you realise that you're changing and turning into that person that you really want to be. And so we're taking a helicopter view, we're taking like a movie screen on your mind to imagine. And what we're going to start doing is what new, more expansive belief would you like to consciously choose to replace that? So we're looking for, in this exercise, we're looking for some phrases. So for me, I was thinking, I changed my belief from being I'm not big enough to I am big enough. So it might just be a quick switch. I'm big enough. Or my size does not determine my worth. And so for others, you can do it. It's my happiness that drives my success. Put yourself first. Only I control my life. I'm enough. I'm exceptional. I'm worthy of love and belonging. Make haste slowly. I shine. I'm a leader worth following. So really, maybe write this down. What belief are you going to replace? And as you're thinking about yourself in the future, how does that pan out? Here's some other inspiration from our team. My natural expression brings abundance. I'm enough, I'm successful, I'm worthy, I'm a winner. I am the eye of the storm. So I own my own stage. I'm like a phoenix, I'm a fighter. I'm in flow with the universe and everything in it. And in your imagination and as you're contemplating your future, what will shift now that you've adopted this new belief? What will change for you in terms of your own identity, your behaviour, your character, your actions? Who is that new person that you will become? And how are you going to reach your potential? And what impact will this have on your life? How are we all doing? Good? Great. And so I hope as we've cast a moment backwards to sort of look at those destructive beliefs, and then as we've kind of used the future view to replace that belief, I hope that's been beneficial. And I just want to share what happened. So when I did this exercise about a few months ago, letting go of that negative belief, I'm not big enough, and I'm changing it to I am big enough, and then what impact is that going to have? And I'm like, what is it that can I do? And so I had this idea that I wanted to do something to do with writing, and actually that became the seed of the Great Write-In. And then because I believed I could, suddenly I had the courage to invite all the, the partners that came on board to run the program. I had the courage to invite all the speakers. I actually had a wish list of the best possible creative writing tutors in New Zealand. I started at the top, and by the time I got to the bottom, I think there were 12, every single one of them said yes. And so the power of changing your beliefs can really have quite a big impact, and that is why I'm sharing it with you, because I know this works. And so this is us, with the group in Australia, we're having a dance and a celebration when we did this last time. So now the final, one of the final exercises, so we've done some contemplation, we've done some sort of guided meditation. Now we're going to use another technique called visualization. It's a lovely, powerful technique. It's where you're basically taking a television and you're using the inner part of your brain to sort of televise yourself in the future. And it might be that, and this is deliberately blank, because what I want you to do now is you can either stand or again pick up your work and look at your future self. Look at that future version of yourself that you have become, and then I really want you to hold that to yourself. So we're going to take a few moments really thinking about yourself in the future. You can close your eyes if you want to. What is it that you see on the movie screen of your mind for your life as it's unfolding in the next 18 months? What do you see? I just saw the Great Ride-In going on tour all around New Zealand. Wow.
I'll be the driver.
Yeah.
Come take a ticket.
Yep, great. What do people see here? Does anyone want to do any sharing? Or is it a bit personal? I don't mind. You can share if you want to, or not. It's okay.
It's a matter of getting out of your own way, for me anyway.
Getting out of your own way. Very good one. Yeah, very good. Anyone else?
I had, for my negative belief was over-serving others, and I don't like seeing waste, and that came up as I don't like using excess words and writing, and that leads to confusion, which then means I am over-serving. So it was a cyclical thing. So now it's like, no, if I just stop and breathe, I can tune into what is really important for me, and then I can choose my words wisely and serve who I choose to and how I choose to. So that was quite cool.
What a lovely sharing, when you realise that actually this what seemed like a negative belief, how it flows into your writing.
Yes.
And so, thank you for really engaging in this exercise. I really do hope it helps you. So yeah, it is a safe place, and I do, thank you for sharing your stories, because we really want for you to discover your unique voice. In my fantastic organisation, I should have put out some blank pieces of paper. I'm sorry I didn't do that, but if you're at home, grab a piece of paper, because now I want you to take a piece of paper and actually, I want you to think about, do you see yourself with a book in you? Some of you will, some of you lots of nods, yes. Now there's that same part of the brain that you're using, I want you to actually, without even thinking about it, sort of draw or sketch or handwrite what you see on the front cover. What is it? Is it a picture? Is it an image? Is it a flash of what is it that you see? Anyone want to share what they see on their front cover? Or is it a bit too...
Person at the bottom of a mountain.
A person at the bottom of a mountain? Is that something you've thought about before, or it just came in today?
No, I've thought about it.
Yeah, cool, great.
Oh, grew up rurally, so and I paint, so I've got a tree, and grew up in an orchard, so there's definitely a tree there and a river and
trees and a river. How fabulous. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Great. So we're just going to close off that mind, body, soul session with another little stretch. And so really bedding this into the memory. So I really want you to get your, we're going to do the breathing again. We're going to re-stretch and we're going to actually celebrate because you guys have actually done quite a major transformation. You have done the work. You have leaned in. I know it's a really quick session, but yeah, so again, just really stretching out, that's it. Have a good yawn, have a good swing, stretch your arms, whatever feels good for you. Good. It's just about getting that blood flowing. Excellent. Yeah, move your hips, whatever feels good. I love this one as well, bending. So this session has really been a bit of a self-discovery. It's been understanding what is that mind, body, soul. It's really looking at our simple, cheap, effective things like our breath. We have examined our beliefs, simple beliefs about ourselves, negative beliefs, and then we've actually let them go. We've also done, a few, stretching exercises. So, I want you to, really remember that. We've had a little bit of a dance, and so we've gone quite deep into our soul and really thinking about who we're going to be. And all of this, these small little steps will be aligning to help you find your voice and find your North Star. So there is more. So I do have another session in 2 weeks' time. I'll be live streaming this from my studio up in Rotorua. It's the 31st of October, in 2 weeks' time, 31st, you're welcome to join me. It's going to be at 9 o'clock. And so what we're going to be doing in that session is really going even deeper again. We'll start with the breathing, we'll move into the mind power and visualization and contemplation, and then we'll do the work with the soul. And so that session goes a lot deeper into your personal vision for your life, so taking what we've learnt today and then stretching it a bit further, and then actually working with your personal values. And so when your personal values like mine are creativity, love and connection, and that embodies everything I do every single day. And so once you are crystal clear about your values, then it becomes much easier to set your goals, because then you know that everything you do is heading into the direction of your life that you choose. So it's another very nourishing session. It's designed to really look at your 3-month goals as writers, and then we can start holding ourselves answerable to making progress in our writer's journey. So you're most welcome to join me in a couple of weeks. So what we're looking for that session is really finding that North Star and writing in a way that lights you up, so you can illuminate your readers.
What's the address for that?
The YouTube channel is The Great, it's just if you Google The Great Write-In in YouTube, the channel will come up, and it's also I have sent some information around, I'll send it around again when we do the recap of this event. I'll make sure you've got all the, the links to, all of the, yeah. So I'd like to thank Look After Me for sponsoring this session. Look After Me is a nationwide accommodation network. We have bed and breakfast, self-contained units, holiday houses, and homestays and lodges all around New Zealand. And so these are my contact details. I do hope that you've got something out of this session. So yeah, that's it. So I want you to just stand up and give yourselves a really good clap. Well done.